Remember, knowledge, it ain't free. You gotta pay attention and don't believe the hype.
And they're off in the Kentucky Derby.
For some, they say it's the most exciting 2 minutes in sports. For us, it's about potential financial opportunities. Never bring a knife to a gunfight, and make no mistake, big money is up for grabs and this is a fight. Never settle for second best. The Past the Wire annual Kentucky Derby seminar. Nobody does it better. Preparation is key. Be better prepared, delve deeper, stealth. They won't see us coming and they won't know we're there. Money management, ticket structure, pace, all the intangibles, thoroughgraph, everything that matters to make it count, to have that edge. In the end, if things go as planned, it'll be like we stole the money.
Hey, Sure Bet Coffee. Put that giddy up in your cup. That giddy up in your cup. Sure Bet Coffee.
There's a lot of ways to handicap a horse race and a lot of ways to bet on it. But nobody that I know does it like Gio Setti and his full card, precise order handicap. Every horse in the race gets a predicted order of finish like only Gio can do, way beyond a deep dive, available exclusively on select days at Past the Wire. Himself, Frankie Dettori. Ciao, Frankie, tutto a posto.
Tutto a posto. Yes, that's a good start. So you haven't lost your Italian.
You're watching Past the Wire TV, presented by Am Wager.
Well, hello everyone. Here we are, another weekend that's getting ready for the Derby. Um, they have moved the race at Oaklawn from Saturday to Sunday due to weather. And anyway, we're going to have the Rebel Stakes there at Oaklawn. That's a Derby trail. So we're going to recap last week. Hey, last week we came this close, people. We hit 4 out of 5. The race that we lost it in was the big race. Steve Ashmanson beat us with the magnitude. Just the way it is in the big race there. We had 3 horses, and we still didn't get it, a piece of the pie. We had 4 out of the 5 races. We had a lot of good exactas, a couple of nice win bets out there and stuff, but I mean, overall it was chalk, but I mean, hey, take a $5.80, $6 horse, take it, why not, Janie? You more than double your bet. Might as well take advantage of that when you can. But today we're going to swing for the fences again on Sunday. We're going to try to hit a pick 5 at Oaklawn on that day. I do have a horse that I kind of like in the maiden race, earlier in that day in the 5th race, but I'm going to be doing right now race 8 through 12. Once again, I want to thank Gracelands for all the tools that we have that we use for this show. If anybody has any questions, or if you want to get the rest of my card at Oaklawn on Sunday, please shoot me an email at charles@pastthewire. Any kind of questions about buying horses, claiming horses, betting, you name it, we could do it. I will get back to you as soon as I can. And then also, please hit subscribe button right down below, right down here. Hit that little bell, and you'll get every alert. You'll get every show that I put out, and Gio, John, everybody like that when we do on our it's Derby time. So you want to keep up with all the Derby hopefuls, and of course, with March Madness coming around the corner, we're going to be super busy doing all our stuff. Anyway, we're going to hit that. Try to hit that pick 5 there. So let's just start right into this. I'm just going to do 2 races once again, like I always do. I'll do 2 races in the pick 5. So I'm just going to do back-to-back races. I'm going to do race 10 and 11 today. So here we go. We're going to start with race number 10. This race is for 4-year-olds and up. This is the Razorback. So you're going to see a lot of familiar faces in this race, a lot of nice horses, a very tough race overall. But I think it's down to like 3 horses, maybe 2 for sure. So we'll go one by one here. So the 1 horse here, Todd Pletcher, you got Dylan Davis aboard here. Dylan's been pretty hot of late. He's got 17% in the last 30 days. Plus 13% ROI. That's really good. And he's really hot with Todd Pletcher here. He's 35%. When they hook up, look at the ROI on them. Plus 114. Gotta love that. That's beautiful on your return on your investment. Here's an old warrior here. So this horse last time out, I just didn't have anything at the Pegasus. Of course, who did against White Abarrio? That day, White Abarrio just destroyed everybody. I knew White Abarrio would be tough, but I didn't know he'd be that tough. I mean, he just destroyed him. That's all we could say. He was the horse there. He's passing on the Saudi Cup, that big money out there. Matter of fact, let's talk real quick about the Saudi Cup. Not many big name horses from the United States. You got Rattle and Roll there, of course, and it's going to be really a tough race now with not too many horses coming from the States. If you look at that race for Saturday, it's going to be Saturday, I believe, around, an Eastern time to be around noon, I believe. Check your TV for that. I like 14-7-3-1. That's how I like that race in the Saudi Cup. So for the 1 horse here, back to this race on the 10th race here at Oaklawn on Sunday. They're going to mile 16. So last time it didn't show much. Time before that really didn't show much there either. I'm kind of wondering, is this horse got to get back in a groove or something? The horse is 5, but it should be in the prime. Tough horse, but for me, I'm just going to say no right now in this race. I think there's a couple other horses in here that could do some damage. The 2, here's one of them that could possibly do some damage, even though moving up in class, in my opinion. Horse has got plenty of speed. Has been running very, very good. The last 3 races, 4 or 5 races, if you really want to count them all. This horse has been running great, but it's been against lesser, and now he's meeting the big boys. What can he do is the question. Pratt jumping aboard makes you scratch your head there and makes you think, doesn't it? So this horse, I think, is going to have a good shot here. I think this is one of your horses that's going to be a pressure type of horse. If this horse stays to form and can handle this group, could be pretty dangerous. 7-2, I think that's about where you're going to see the odds. I think if you had another rider on him, I think you could see possibly even higher odds, to be honest with you. But with Pratt aboard, I think you're going to get right around 7-2. This horse definitely got the talent, got the speed, do everything there. question is the big question mark is, can he handle this class? I think he can, but I just don't know if he could just get over that hump to beat some of these horses in here. So I think he's definitely possible. I think he's got great talent. And look at the angle here. Horse won last as a favorite. Yeah, that's a great angle. And a horse for course is 7.2, which is excellent. So keep that horse in mind. The 3. This horse here, last time out, no, didn't show much, didn't do much. The time before that was out on the lead. This is going to be one of your speed horses, possibly one of your leaders in this race. Florent is going to be riding the horse with, he teams up with Cox, very good. They get 29%. This horse is got some speed to go out there. The question mark is he going to tire? I'm betting that he's going to tire myself. I think this horse, it needs a lone lead to do something or be very close to a cheap speed, I would call it. Here's the angles. Trainer wins with the horse off of a long layoff, which you got a little bit of a layoff here since August. This horse is finally coming back. Horse ships into track, wins at multiple circuits. Trainer jockey, their win percentages were really good. And with more than 180 days, so there's a lot of good things here to like about this horse. I just don't know if this horse could beat a couple other horses that are in here. The 4, another one with speed. This is why I think the 3 could possibly get tired, because there's plenty of speed in here to keep him honest. This is one of them. Safi Joseph with Tyler Gaffleon. Look, they get 26% wins. Another combo that does very, very good. You are getting 10-1. So that kind of makes you think a little bit, right? Horse is going to be a pressure type of horse. Moving up in class. Can he handle this class level? Horse ships into track, wins at multiple circuits. I don't know if this horse could, go against a couple other horses in here. Possibly. I think this horse's speed is going to keep him very close. I think, if anything, it's more on the exotics, the bottom side of the exotics, because there's plenty of speed. I just don't know about this horse handling this class. And so I think, I would take this horse on the bottom side. Okay, now the 5. Skinner, Cherie Delvaux, and you got Jose Ortiz. They team up very good. 28% plus 2% ROI. Look at all the green here for Cherie Delvaux. Look at all that. A lot of positive there. A lot of great stuff there to go off of. She's a one hot trainer. Jose, in the last 10 days, 31% win. Wow. That's all you can say is wow, right? Last time out, this horse just missed. He lost by a length and a half. Was right there. Hit Show won that race. We handicapped that race on this show. That time, that was at the fairgrounds. Hit Show is a very good horse. He just got out kicked at the end. Now he's, in a race again. Jose is staying aboard. Gotta love that. Is this horse a major player? You betcha. I think this is one of the horses in this race to beat. I think this is one of them right here. There might be one other horse I think might be very scary, but I think this is the one you have to beat. I think he's going to be sitting in the catbird seat. I think this horse could be sitting 3rd or 4th, not too far off the leaders, probably about 2 lengths, be my guess. And I think he'll just make one big move, and I think he could pass up some tiring horses and take that lead at the top of the stretch. That's how I see it. The 6, this horse last time out did okay, ran pretty even overall. Time before that, an allowance, won, which he should have. We go back to when it wasn't a graded stakes. The horse finished 10 lengths out. I don't know if this horse can handle this class is another question again. At 15-1, you got Mark Casey's the trainer, but I just think this horse is just a notch below these other horses. That's my opinion on that. I just don't see this horse being in the picture at the end of this race. The 7, this horse has got some talent, but just always hangs. Just sits right there. He just doesn't have that oomph to get past horses, it looks like to me. And Steve he runs this horse at different, distances. He puts different jockeys aboard. The last jockey that won with him was, of course, Ortiz. But he puts his son now back on. And they ran a mile last time. Looked like he was going to do well, and then he just kind of flattened. That was it. He was done. And he was a favorite, not a big favorite, but he was a favorite, almost 2-1. So for me, I think this is another one that could have early pressure or in the front lead. Another one that could possibly go out to the front or be pressure type. There's plenty, like I said, there's plenty in this race with this race. So I'm going to take a pass on this horse. This horse is nice, I have to admit, but I'm just going to have to take a pass on this horse. Okay, the 8. Interesting horse here. Got only 2 races in, and the horse is 4 years old. All right. So the horse got its start late in his 3-year-old career. Broke his maiden in December. He was a gelding, so they had problems with this horse, probably focusing and everything else. And there's probably a couple other problems the horse had when he was young, and they just took their time and they got him right. They started him in December. He broke his maiden. Santana was aboard. Looked like a beautiful race. Then the last time out, mile the 16th in allowance race. I watched the video on that. That horse at the end just started doing really good, pulling clear. This horse has learned a lot in 2 races. So it makes me wonder how far did he get along in his training before he had probably take time off and start as a late 3-year-old. So I don't know, but this horse did learn a lot in 2 races. Norm Casey, which I personally believe is an upcoming trainer. He learned a lot from his dad. Norm is a very, very good trainer, in my opinion. He doesn't have the big horses in his barn all the time, but he gets a lot out of his horses. And I think if you're out there looking for a trainer that, you think is upcoming, this is a trainer you probably should look at. It's Norm Casey. Santana Jr. here rides well with Norm. They got 23% in the win column, plus 24% in ROI. So they give a great return on your investment. Possible upset horse here, 9-2. You're probably going to see that 9-2, possibly even higher. But this is a question mark. If this horse can handle this quality, which personally, watching how this horse has developed just in 2 races, I think this horse can. They paid good money for this horse. They took their time. I think this is going to be probably an upset here. It has a chance of being an upset. The 5, we'll have to really watch out for this horse. He might try to take the lead before the 5 will. So I think that's going to be the battle down the lane, is between the 5 and the 8, big time. I could be wrong, of course, yes, but in my opinion, that's how I see this race. The 9. Last time out, ran pretty much even overall against the Wine Steward. Did okay. Time before that, won a allowance race. Looked great in that race. I watched the video on that. Looked really good. Time before that, kind of even again. The time before that, kind of threw in a little bit of a clunker. 8 and 7.5 lengths back. Wasn't too good there. I think this horse is a little bit over his head. I'm going to say no to this horse, but if you're going to do anything, this horse might definitely be on the bottom side of any exotics. The 10. Boy, if you're going off just off the last 2 times, it's a no, 100% no. But if you scratch those last 2 times, this horse has got some talent. But it also proves to me the last 2 times was in stakes races and didn't do much, even though he finished second in 1 stakes race against Hit Show, which makes me believe this horse has got something in the tank. Now, Irad takes over, okay? So makes you think a little bit. My Mike Maker, trainer, excellent, does a great job, as you all will know. The race lens angle, shipping into tracks, wins at multiple circuits. So that's another great angle. I personally think the horse needs to turn the form around. Horses do go in cycles, by the way. I mean, males and the females. The females sometimes, if they go on the downward cycle of you're not running well, it takes them a little longer to swing out of it than it does the males. This one might be out of the swing. Hopefully, it's turning the right way especially for Mike Maker is thinking that way. I would definitely put this horse on the bottom side of my exotics. I don't think this horse is a win or place type of horse, but for the 3rd spot, yeah, definitely you got to look at this horse. Got the talent, got the speed to stay real close, do anything. So it depends how this horse breaks is the main key. This horse has to break real close to the lead or on the lead to have any shot, okay? The 11, last time out, this horse was closing pretty good, steady but not great. Time before that was pretty much running even, and even the 3 races back ran pretty much even too. This horse is really going to have to step it up. This horse is flat out has to step it up. This horse is a nice allowance horse, definitely, maybe a small stakes, but this horse really needs to pick up the pace, do something different. This horse has tried turf, does really good on turf, and does okay on dirt. Maybe he's on the wrong surface, but the key to this horse is going to have to really pick it up. 3rd race after a lap, looking for improvement. Yeah, you definitely got to look for improvement, and what a race to try to improve in. It's really tough. So I'm taking a solid pass. The 12, always a hard knocker, always tries real hard, but the last 2 races were really stunk up the place pretty bad. Torres has rode this horse before. This horse has had a lot of excuses in the past, and this horse really needs a good pace to run at, which he's going to get that part. This horse is going to get a pace to run at, okay? But I just don't know if this horse is ready to do some serious damage. I just don't know that. So I'm going to take a pass on this horse on the 12. 13, another one that closes a little bit, but can stay a little bit closer than the 12. McPeak, Hernandez team. I just don't think this horse is in the right class. Once again, this is another one of those horses that are allowance, small stakes races. You know, every once in a while, trainers, you got to try, as they try to bump them up to try to get some wins, get graded on especially fillies and mares. But on the boys, they try once in a while to get some piece of the pie, the bigger piece of the pie, and it just doesn't work out. They could do some really damage in the allowance of stakes races, but the lower ones, they don't sometimes ride enough of those races so you could fit those conditions. So this is where they're going to have to run. I personally think it's too bad for this horse. This is a very nice horse. If anything, I would definitely put it on the bottom side. I just do not see this horse coming to 1st or 2nd in this race, possibly 3rd, but that's about it for me. So I'm going to take a pass unless you want to really bet that horse on some exotics on the bottom side. The 14 is another one that really needs to pick up the pace. He does okay in small stakes, but okay is not going to get it here. You really got to do much better to keep up with, for sure, 3 horses, if not 4 or 5 of these horses that are in here. So I'm going to take a pass on the 14. I just think he's over his head on that. And that is it for that race. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go and see what race lens, they see how this race, how they think it's going to pan out. Okay, so there we go. All right. There we are. Okay, there's the 10th race. First, let's go to my adjustable factors here. I got speed as 5, class, form, and distance all at 4. I have the jockey trainer at 3. I have pace at 5. I have the trainer at 4. And then track angles and track condition L at 3. So that's how I set up my template. You could play around with yours, see how it comes out. That's what I normally do. When I look at some of these tracks that are speed tracks, I tend to put pace and speed more forward. Race tracks that you don't have to have speed to win all the time at, I would drop that back to a 4, and I put more of the form and class forward on that. So that's how I'd usually do it. And I always put trainer higher than a jockey, not because I was a trainer before, I'm not because of that, but I do believe trainers really make a horse because they are with them day in and day out. They understand this horse's eating habits, the work, how they work, all of what they do every day. You got some horses that are really lovey-dovey horses, some that are mean, and some have just different things you just got to watch out for. So trainer is very important. The jockey is important, don't get me wrong. But if you say, hey, give me your top 20, 25 jockeys to put on your horse in a stakes race, I could give you the list, and you would probably agree with the list, but you would just adjust all the names at different spots. I mean, we could agree who's the top 20 to 25, and we definitely could think of who in our own opinions are the top 10. It's only our own opinions. If you say, hey, it's Ortiz or Irad, or it's Tyler Gaffleone, or whoever, you can name different other jockeys. We all have our own reasons why we say who we think is the top 5, top 10, whatever. So I think jockeys are take a notch below when it comes to how important they are when it comes to race. Because if you put one of those top 15 jockeys on a horse, they should ride very well, because mainly it is about the horse. You got to have horse first. Okay. Anyway, they see in this race a very early pace. They got pretty bunched up to 2, 3, 8, 6, 5. Now, the 2 I could probably see up there too. Those, all of them up there. There's a couple other horses like we were talking about, that 14 and the 13 of them. They have to really get in, and I just don't see the 13. They're saying they don't see the 13 get in. 14 possibly could get in. They're thinking maybe. It just depends how well it breaks. But this is how their first 4 is: 2, 3, 8, 6, possibly the 5. Okay. Then in the middle of the race, they think the 2 is going to start pulling away with the 3, 8, trying to push that horse. And then at the end, they see it 2, 3, 1, 5, 8. I have a little different. I see it 5, 8, 2. I just think that 2 is, remember, he's trying this class and does have a lot of talent. We talked about that. I just think the 5 and the 8 could get this horse if they get the good jump, especially if another horse pushes, or 2 other horses pushes the 2 in the first half of the race. If they push him pretty good, the 2 might back up. Let's look at the odds, true odds here. The 2, they think it's supposed to be 1 to 4, and you got 7 to 2. I don't think it's going to go down to 1 to 4. I think it's going to be maybe 2 to 1, because I do think the 5's going to take some of the money. 1's going to take a little money, I think. Possibly even the 3 is going to take a little money. I just don't see the 2 getting at super low odds. So 7 to 2, maybe not be that high, but I think you're not going to see super low. You're not going to see 1 to 4. Let's just put that. I don't think that at all. So that's how I see it. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go and check out the Rebel. Now, before we hit that Rebel, we're going to definitely say that this is going to be one big race. I think this race is very, very tough. Okay. I did have a very tough time of picking a solid top 2 horses. So it's very tough in my opinion. But, when you're running these type of races, trying to see who's the best to go to the Derby, this is what you're supposed to get. You're supposed to get tough races. You're supposed to see who is the best when they come out of those races. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to check it all out. Okay, we're going to start with that number 1 horse. All right, last time out went wire to wire. I mean, you got to like that in the Smarty Jones. Horse looked okay, looked good, won by 4. I watched the video on that one. Looked very good. Before that, won the springboard. Horse looked good in there. The time wasn't the best in that race, but that's okay. Let's don't worry about times right now as long as they keep improving. And this horse did improve a little bit going to the mile 16. My question is, did he improve enough? Well, in my opinion, no. I think there's for sure 4 horses in here that are definitely a step or 2 higher than this horse, and possibly even 6 or 7 horses. Okay, so I'm going to take a hard pass on this horse. I have to admit the horse has been doing everything right. They're saying the running style of coming from behind. This horse can come from behind, can come take the lead. I personally think he's a pressure type of horse. I don't think he's going to come from behind or take the lead. I think he'll sit somewhere around 3rd or 4th and try to make one big move. I just think this horse is up against it today. But if this horse does anything, like I said last week, and watch the video on the big races, you must watch the videos a couple of times and look at other horses, not just the ones that you bet on or had exacted with or whatever. Check them all out, because this is what you're going to get an eye on, especially what if this horse had a lot of trouble on the rail, because he's on the rail to start off with, okay? So, and he ended up a solid 4th, and it was a close race, and he had some trouble on the rail. Hey, you got to give some kudos to this horse then, check him out the next time out. So just because I'm tossing this horse because I think there's 4 or 5 other horses that are a little better, doesn't mean I don't think this horse has got talent, because it's obvious this horse does. Won 3 in a row, definitely deserves to be in here, definitely deserves to have this shot, and I definitely do not blame this trainer or the jockey to try this. 2, very interesting horse here. Last time out, this horse ran a very good race overall. Did get just did pull away enough to win at the end, but he had to learn a lot of stuff. And Magnitude, before that, he was in a race with Magnitude and Built. And I remember Magnitude went wire to wire last weekend, and hey, I didn't have the horse, but we all had to admit the Magnitude did have some talent. The horse ran an excellent race, ran a very fast time. Unfortunately, he will not be running in the Derby. He had a chip in his ankle. Those things happen, and there's out there people thinking, oh, he's always had a chip, and they just been running. Well, no, if you had a chip, if they know you have a chip, especially when you have a horse of that caliber, you don't run these horses. You get the chip out. They could go in there and do a microscopic surgery, get to pull out the chip. The horse just needs a little time off. Not a lot of time. They come back, usually they come back fine. They come back 100% fine. So they're doing the right thing. Once they found the chip, they're done. We're not pushing this horse anymore. We're going to go in there. We're going to take out the chip, give him a little time to rest and get the heel. And he'll be back probably at the end of the year, maybe around as soon as that. So keep in mind on Magnitude on that. So with that being said, this horse got beat up by Magnitude and Built, so I don't know. It's the question mark about this horse in this race. Last time out, this horse did show some talent again. So, do I think this is one of my? I guess I'm going to say top 4 because I really can't pick who is really my top 2. But let's just say one of my top 4. I'm going to say no, but boy, it's going to be very hard to leave this horse out of a pick 4, pick 5, or definitely on the bottom side of exotics. So beware. Just look at the tote board. Try to get 12-1 or higher. They're saying this horse is a comfort grinder. That's bad for this race. I don't think it's bad for this race. I think this is more of a pace horse than anything. So I just say, watch it, get some good odds. Do not jump on this horse if this horse is less than 8-1. You want 8-1 or higher to do some damage with this horse. The 3 is another one that's kind of almost in the same boat, in my opinion. Last time out did lose to Speed King, but that's okay. I mean, Speed King is a nice horse he did in the Southwest, but looked good. Looked really good at the end at that race. Got the same jock on board. The race before that mile shows this horse is getting better. It's probably a little bit better, in my opinion, than the 2. I think he's right about the same level, in my opinion. So this is another one. Can you really toss this horse if you're playing a pick 4, pick 5, or bottom side of your supers and tries? I say no. You got to better look at this. Now, 4-1 might be a little on the light side. I would like nothing less than that. Third race after a layoff, looking for improvement. I think you probably will get 4-1. I just wouldn't want less than that if I'm putting any kind of money on it, any way, shape, or form. Okay. The 4. Interesting. One race. I got one race to go off of. Can you really get something out of that one race? I watched the video of it. It was in the slop. The horse really rallied, cleared away, and just kind of went on, Did everything great. Perfect. All right. Now we're stepping up to the big dogs. The Peak knows what he's doing when it comes to that. So is this one of my top 4? I think so. Especially at those odds, 10-1. I'm going to put this as one of my top 4. I don't know if it's one of my top 2 or 3, but I would, definitely put this in there. You can't turn your back on this horse. Brian Hernandez is aboard. Come from behind, that's going to be the angle that they don't like. I don't think he's going to be super far back. I don't think he's going to come from the clouds, but I think he will come from behind. So kind of demand a little bit of a price. Demand that 10-1, but horse has definitely got talent. The big question mark is, can he step up this high and compete with a couple of other horses in here? And here's one of them, I think. Baffert, first time out at Del Mar, put him in the Bob Hope as his maiden race. And look who he lost to. Ballard, which is in this race. That was a very good race. If you go back and watch the film, I saw that live the day, which I had the winner, but this horse ran an excellent race. Then came back in a maiden. Yeah, at a super short price. Won, pulling away at the end, going 6 furlongs. And now this horse went back and the Robert B. Lewis ran a decent third, pretty even overall, but he ran up against another freight train, Citizen Bull. Makes you scratch your head. Citizen Bull is one of the leaders in the points that go to the Derby. That's another Baffert horse too, by the way. I don't know. I got a weird vibe off of this horse because I think this horse has got a lot of talent. Right when you think he figured it out, when he broke his mane, he went into that race, and I kind of liked him a little bit in that race. But Citizen Bull just had his way again, and you can't let Citizen Bull have his way. So, and this horse apparently does not have that kind of speed to go out in front. but this horse does have great closing speed. So I think this is one of the top horses, in my opinion, in this race. There's plenty of speed in this race to set it up for him. If you go crazy about these works, don't go crazy about the works. They're always fast for Bob Baffert. They're always fast. If you see a super slow work, if you see a 103, 104 and a Baffert horse, then you probably should be looking another way. Start being worried that there's something wrong. These are, I mean, so the works I'm not looking at. I just think the horse has got talent enough to win this race. I think Baffert's put him in the right spot for this. And Baffert does really good when he ships horses into graded stakes races. Definitely a major player in my book. I think he's one of the top ones you got to look at. Oops, what happened here? Okay, the 6, still a maiden. So, I mean, I'm not saying maidens cannot win stakes races, because they can, definitely can. But now we're at a point where we got so many horses in here that are just developing the right way, getting toward, they're pointing towards the Derby and everything. I'm going to take a seat back on this horse. This horse is going to have to prove to me that this horse belongs with this caliber. The horse does run very well. He has some talent, obviously. He ran in a grade 3 last time, and he got beat up a little bit. So he moved up through disqualification, but still, he got beat up. So Steve is putting him in here. I think he's reaching personally. But Steve won last weekend, so who am I to really question here? But I personally going to take a seat back. I'm going to take a pass on this horse. The 7, another one that's closed very well, broke its maiden last time out. Took a while. I mean, not a lot of races to break its maiden, but was improving every time it ran. Just the question is he over his head? I personally think so. I think this horse got to do some more work to get there. Horse won last time as the favorite, which is a great angle, but I'm taking a pass on this horse. The 8. Horse has got speed, definitely has the speed to go. Question mark is, can this horse take that speed out there? Lucas will try to steal this race. Watch out, everybody. I personally believe this is your leader in the race. Innovator has got tons of speed, so look out. But I think he could get caught. I think there's still enough speed in here to question this horse. So I'm going to take a pass, but not a hard pass. I would think this horse would be more on the bottom side of exotics, if anything. The 9, another one with speed. So this is one of the horses I personally think is going to push the 8 a lot there. This horse has won 3 in a row. Got to look at that. Got to love it. As owner, trainer, Dallas Stewart, watch out. Bell ringer. I mean, tell you, this guy brings in prices. He sneaks in horses in some of these stakes races, and he gets prices. Tyler Gaffney owns a board. You got to like that. Major player. I don't know about a major player, but I definitely think this is one of them, again, that you should not leave off of your exotics, pick 4s, pick 5s, stuff like that. This horse is definitely one of those horses that you better not turn your head on, because this one might make you pay the price. Horse won last time as a favorite, ships into other tracks, great win circuit is 5.2%. So definitely a player. The 10. Last, only ran 3 times, but runs perfect every time, in my opinion. Last time did get beat, didn't quite run the right race. He was pretty wide to that race. I just didn't like, and he's going to be wide again in this race, unfortunately. But they are going a distance of ground; they're not really sprinting. So I think he could settle in a much better spot, like 5th or so, as long as he doesn't get more than 4 lengths off those leaders. I think he could do some damage. I think this is another one that is one of the horses to beat with the other Baffert horse. I think he's one of them to beat. So look out for this horse. This horse has got tons and tons of talent. And in my opinion, one of my, I would say top 10 horses for the Derby right now. This is one of them I've been watching and following. So I think this is going to be one of those tests that is going to make me keep him in my top 10 or toss him, I guess. So we'll see what this horse does. Umberto is an excellent rider. People don't know him that well unless they know West Coast racing. He's an excellent rider. I'll take him any day of the week on my horse. So don't be scared about the jockey or anything like that. 5-1, personally, that'd be a great gift if it's 5-1. I don't know what the true odds are going to be. Baffer's horse is probably going to get a lot of money too, but hopefully you get 5-1 on this horse. That'd be excellent, and I would take it every day of the week. 11, Speed King, got his name. He's got the right name for what he does. He does go to the front. He does like to be on the front runner. He's one of them. He's definitely another one that's going to have to do it. But remember, he's got that 11 post now. He really has got to get out of there and do something. Once again, I don't know if this horse could do it when he comes out there from that far out. Me, personally, I would take a pass on that horse because of the post and the speed, the tactics, the way this horse has to run. Okay, wait, come on. Can't get it to go to the next horse. Okay. There we go, 12. This horse was in a claiming race last time. Closed. A couple back, he just broke his maiden. Took him a while to break his maiden. When he was running maiden, he wasn't doing very well. Turf or dirt. I have a hard time backing this horse. I really do. 50-1. If you're betting this horse and this horse comes in for you, congratulations. But I'm not putting a dime on this horse. This horse has got way too much work to do. Needs to really improve a lot to even think about running against these guys again. 50-1. No, this is more like 99-1. Steve's other horse here. This horse here has the talent, like always. He has those horses that have those type of talent. This horse is probably a question mark for me on, bottom side of the exotics. Is this one of those horses you could leave out or not? Maybe, maybe not. It's one of those you just got to look at them. 8-1. I would demand definitely 8-1. I would actually demand a little bit more. I'd demand more like 10 or 12-1. All I can say is if you like this horse, I don't want to talk you out of this horse. If you do bet this horse, bet him across the board, but bet him, have a couple other horses in your play. Don't just single this horse in a pick 4 or pick 5. But if you have it and the horse wins, congratulations, you did it. But for me, I'm not going to be one of those that on Monday morning saying, hey, I had that horse, because I'm not going to. The 14, the horse comes from behind, does very well on that, but it took the horse, hasn't really done much before that last time out. I'm just going to take a serious no. I think this horse is way outclassed here. So I'm going to take a hard pass on this horse. So there you have it. I can't do it. Now, let's see how Racelins sees this race. And let's go into that and see how they think it's going to all pan out. My computer's running a little slow today. It's doing something really weird. Okay. There we go. All right. Okay, we got the 11th race here. All right. I still have the same settings as last time. So they see in the beginning of the race the 8, 11, 5. Those three out in front. I don't know if those three only are going to go out there. I think there's a couple of horses that could, if they break very well, could do some damage out there, like the 11. Well, the 11 is out there, but I think there's a couple others that might get up there a little closer. But look at what they have at the midway point. They got them all pretty tight overall. 8, 10, 11, 5, 9, possibly even the 7. So I think they all got them real close. That the 5 itself, I think it will be sitting third or fourth around pretty much the race until they turn for home. They have it as 9, 5, 13, 6, 11. Now, I have it as, I'm going to go this way: 10, 5, 6, 4. And if I had to throw one more in because they have 5 there, I'll throw in the 9. But it's very tough. Let's look at this true odds here, what they think here on this. Like I said, I think this is a wide open race, especially for a derby type of race. Excellent betting race. If you like a horse in here that maybe I didn't choose or I pick as my third pick or whatever, hey man, this is going to be a betting race. They got the 6 at 9-1 should be a true odds, and they got a 20-1. I don't know. I don't think you're going to get 20-1. I really don't. I think you're going to get closer to 9 or 10-1, right in that ballpark. The 9, 2-1, and it's right now 8-1 morning line. I don't think you're going to get 2-1 on this horse. I think you're going to get right around 8-1, possibly 7-1. That's how I see it. And then the 13, you're supposed to be 5-1. You got 8-1. That's, it's a little bit. It's okay. I think you're going to get more than 8-1 personally. The 5, I don't know, 9-2. I don't know if you're going to get 9-2. I think you're going to get closer to 3-1. The 3 will be very close to 3-1. And possibly the 10 will be very close to 3-1. I think you're going to have like 3 horses there. They're going to be battling it for who's going to be the favorite at 3-1, really. So I think it'll be 3, 5, and 10. They'll be battling it for who's going to be the odds. But like I said, I like it 10, 5, 6, 4. That's how I like this race. So we're going to go in and we're going to check out what I like in this race. How I'm going to play the pick 5 and everything. So let's see if we can go out and dare to do it. I mean, like I said, last weekend we just missed it. We had a good day overall, hitting exactas and everything. But here at Oaklawn, we got more races. This is a 12 race day, so I have the whole card. I do like 1 and a 5th a lot. What the heck's wrong with my computer? Is really going slow right now. I don't know what's going on. And we're almost done, so hopefully it's we get it all done before it really goes super haywire on us, right? Okay, here we go. Pick 5 starts in the 8th race. The 8th race, I like it 10, 11, 5, 8. I'm going to exacta 10 over the 11. In the pick 5, I'm going to do 2 horses in that first leg. I'm doing 10, 11. And then in the second leg, which is race number 9, I'm going 1, 5, 13, and 6. And the third leg, which would be race 10, we went over that one. I'm going 5, 8, 2. Now, that fourth leg, which is the Rebel, the 11th race, we just went through it. I'm going pretty deep here. I'm going 7 deep here. 10, 5, 6, 4, 9, 2, and the 3. Okay. I'm doing it because I'm playing a pick 5. I want to get out of this race unscathed, hopefully. Then the last leg, race number 12, the final leg, I'm going 8, 9. I really like those 2 horses a lot. I think that's my exacta of the day. That's what I got going. Now, let's go to the 9th, and I'll go over those horses real quick. I like 1, 5, 13, 6. My exacta is 1 over the 5 and 13. In the 10th race, I like 5, 8, 2, 4. The exacta, I'm going the 5 over the 8. And then the 11th, which I think is wide open, by the way, I'm going to try the 10.5 over the 10.5.649 over the yaw. Okay, trying to get a little price there at the backside. And then the 12, I'm just going an 8, 9, 12, 3, and I'm just going the 8 over the 9. That's what I'm going to do there. And that's how I'm going to play it. So, everyone, let's go out there. Let's get this race. And if you got any questions, once again, please shoot me an email. I'm sorry for this long video today, but we had a couple of long races. And so let's go out there and get some winners. And I want to see you in that winner circle. So until then, see ya.
Tracking trips have passed the wire. There is no better time than now to join and ride with this clan. We'll be your second set of expert trained eyes. We ain't gonna buy you a fish. Sure, we'll give you some, but more importantly, we'll show you how to fish and make you a better. CAWs, sharks in the water, no problem. We'll go against anybody, and we have the track record to prove it. Big days, big pools, and select days all year long. We'll outplay them all. Looking for an ace? You're in the right place. Want to find that diamond? Be with us. Want to know more? Just ask a member or visit us at PassTheWire.com and check out the Tracking Trips page. Nobody does it better.
Cyberknife was a very talented horse from day one. Fast horse, able to carry it around 2 turns. Looks a tremendous amount like Gunrunner, same ability and talent. Holds the track record in the Haskell. He won it in impressive fashion, beating a very good group of horses.
His name is Cyberknife!
Excited about him passing on his durability, his soundness, and his talent. He could definitely be a breed-shaping stallion.
Welcome to Pass the Wire TV, your #1 source for horse racing news and interviews, handicapping analysis, betting insights, and more. Pass the Wire TV covers the biggest races at the best tracks.
Garnet and Luis Saez to win the Belmonte Stakes at Saratoga.
The Grey Wizard is absolutely flying. Champagne won. The Grey Wizard. Oh, it's very close. Leave it to the judge.
Like, share, and subscribe to Pass the Wire TV. Nobody does it better.
Blood. That makes you related. Loyalty. That makes you family. Nobody does it better.